Have you ever just wanted to escape to Paris, have some, amazing food and see the sights? Well, we're going to be escaping to Paris today and we're going to be exploring the new Nomad Cosmetics Paris La Boheme palette. Hi everyone. If you guys are new here, my name is Staci and I feature unfiltered makeup opinions, honest reviews. I am that marketing journalistic lens on the makeup space, and today we are going to be taking a look at the new Nomad Cosmetics La Boheme palette, and this was actually sent to me in PR, but that does not skew this review by any means at all. This is more of a first impression review, and I'm going to show you guys two looks today, a pink look and this look here on my face. So if you guys like this kind of content, make sure that you subscribe, and we're going to get into this video. Nomad just released their first palette of 2026. It is the Paris La Boheme palette. They say that the destination in the late 1800s, Paris's Latin Quarter bloomed into a haven for artists, students, and dreamers. Winding streets and dim cafes pulsed with creativity, debate, and artistic passion. By day, ideas were argued. By night, poets and painters chased beauty in candlelight garres. More than a place, it is a way of life, La Boheme. Today, echoes remain in the worn pages of the Shakespeare & Co., on the steps of the Sorbonne, and within every heart drawn to love art and the Bohemian dream. They describe this palette as a eccentric mix of artistic hues shaped by the past and present creative pulse of Paris's Latin Quarter. The palette opens with bright romantic colors of youthful optimism, effervescent pinks, delicate violets, and incandescent reds. These transition into a somber shade of hardships and tragedy, tarnished greens, yellows, ashen grays, and melancholic deep blues. It comes with 10 mattes, 6 shimmers, and 2 multi-chromes. So that is the Paris La Boheme palette, and you can see here it transitions from a pink to more of those grungy tones. And honestly, when people were describing it on Instagram, like, this is the romantic side, this is the grungy side, or you can kind of like mix in between. And I do have a pink look and a blue look that I'm going to show you guys today. 2 looks, 1 palette. And then I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts on this eyeshadow palette. The palette is currently available on the Nomad Cosmetics website. I do have a code if you do want to get 10% off. It is $59, but with the 10% off, you do get a discount. So definitely, I will leave that information linked in the description box down below if you are interested in this eyeshadow palette. Now, let's get into the 2 tutorials I have for you guys, the 2 looks, and then we're going to finish off with my final thoughts, my first impressions on this eyeshadow palette from Nomad Cosmetics. right, so you saw the two eyeshadow looks. Honestly, out of the two that I have created, I think my favorite one is the pink one, although I am kind of obsessed with this like grungy green, which is the Poverty shade right here. So it is like a grungy golden green, like multi-chrome, and it is honestly a really beautiful shade. I love that one. I think that it's super pigmented and super beautiful. You could honestly swipe this across the eye and be done with it. Now, as far as let's talk about and check off some things that and what I think about this eyeshadow palette. First, starting with the blendability. If you did notice, it does have some purple shades in here. It also has some pink reddy tones. It has some blue tones in here. And I was able to dip into pretty much almost every single shade in this eyeshadow palette with those two looks that I did. Now, let's start off with the pink shades. The pink shades blended out so seamlessly. I had absolutely no problem at all. They are definitely very pigmented, but they are also very buildable. So depending on how you like to apply your eyeshadow palette, if you just dip your brush in, tap it off, then you can build it up. If you want something that's more pigmented, I go in and I just tap into it and then I just apply it to my eye to get like that pigmented eyeshadow look. I did also get to use this purple shade down here. If you're unfamiliar with anything in color cosmetics, with makeup in general, purple shades are really hard to be able to formulate for some reason. I think it's because it's that mix of the warm tone and the cool tone, so a red and a blue, and it's that mix that makes purples really hard to formulate. But this purple shade was actually really simple and really easy to use. I didn't have any problems with it at all, and usually pigmented purple shades like this, I have a very hard time using, like across the board. There's been so many brands where they have a pigmented purple shade and it doesn't work for me. And this one I actually had no issue at all. I think it blended out seamlessly. Out of the romantic side, I would say I have a couple of favorite shades. I definitely love this shade up here, which is Love. This is just like a true beautiful pink sparkly shade. Honestly, it is so pretty. I have it on the inner corner today and it does mesh well with like the cool tones because it has almost like this cool tone pink undertone to it. I also think that this shade down here is so stunning. This is called Romantique and this is like it almost reminds me of like it has a pink to purple kind of like undertone to it. And it almost reminds me of like something a little bit hollow chromish because it has like that sparkly, glittery type of effect, but it's not a hollow chrome. Now, on the warm side, we do have one of those multi-chromes. It is this shade right here, and the shade is called Musician, and it shifts from a pink to like a gold. And I feel like it almost has like a green in it as well. This one's like super fun to play with. Again, no problems with it blending out at all. I think it is a beautiful shade to add to like the romantic side. And then you have the grungy side. And I was able to use almost every single shade on the grungy side as well. I didn't use this shade right here and I did not use this shade right here. So I didn't use Poet or Dramatique, but they are that classic like Nomad formula. And they do have some really, they're just so pretty. You have like this grungy, bronzy shade, and then you have this really pretty blue. And they do have a little bit of like that glit and glimmer to it. This one does have a little bit of a blue undertone as well. So it's like a purple to a blue, and it is really, really pretty. And it is definitely different from this shade. Like that one definitely has more pink. The other one definitely has more blue. And they are both stunning. Like you could actually do an eye look with these two and like maybe some darker, grungier tones. And like that would be super pretty as well. So they do play well like together. As for some of these other shades on my eyes today, I have this shade, this shade, this shade, this shade, and then these two shades in here. And I do have a little bit of this blue as well. So these two blues, one is more of like a turquoise blue, so it is a mixture of a green and a blue, and it is a same color family as this one. This one is kind of like a lighter greenish, and it does have a little bit of a blue undertone as well, but I had no problem blending out these two dark shades either. I just find sometimes with me, dark shades don't blend out very well, and these two were just like so easy to blend out. I was pleasantly surprised. Now, this shade right here, so pretty. It's like a blue jean foil, and it is just so pretty. It's actually on the outer portion of my lid today. Super sparkly. It's like a blue jean blue color. Like that's what it is. It is the shade Rodolfo, and it is honestly like probably what drew me to this palette because it's such a unique shade. You don't really see this type of blue that often. And then I do have Poverty. This one is the other multi-chrome, and it has like a gold, grungy yellow to a blue shift in it. And paired with these like cooler tones, it is really, really pretty. So just to show you guys the difference between the two multi-chromes, one is definitely more pink leaning and one is more purple leaning. So they are definitely different. You know, in the pan, they don't even look the same like on camera, but even when you swatch it out, they're really, really beautiful multi-chromes. Like super smooth, super pigmented, super easy to pat on the eye, which is what I did with both of these, and they were really easy to use. I did also like the gray shade. It wasn't muddy by any means at all. It's definitely very cool toned as well. Now, as far as the overall presentation and the way that the color story reflects the packaging, I think they did an excellent job because they did pull inspiration from a lot of the colors in the cover art to put into the actual palette. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. You have a lot of embossing and you have some like actual gloss that's embossed on here as well. And you also have this beautiful wine glass and it says Nomad on it. And the detail on this eyeshadow palette is really beautiful. Like I have a couple of Nomad's eyeshadow palettes. Like I have the Fairy Tale Europe one. I also have the Hudson Valley one. And I feel like their presentation with the covers of their eyeshadow palettes has just been like amped up, especially with this one. I think the cover art is absolutely beautiful. And it does make you feel like you're stepping into Paris. Like it's absolutely stunning. Now, if you're the type of person who loves pinks, if you love grungy tones, this is going to be the palette for you. If you're the type of person who tends to dip into more of a neutral color story, this is something that you may not find very useful. Now, I am more of a neutral lover, but when I do dip into colorful, like when I dip into colorful eyeshadow, it's always my first go-to is usually pinks and purples. And that's half of this palette. And then the other half is the blues and the greens, which one of my favorite palettes a couple years ago was actually the Natasha Denona Yucca palette, which was like pretty much like greens and yellows. And I use that one so much, which I feel like this is kind of like a good mixture of purples, which I love. And it's also a good mixture of the green tones that I love, and it is pretty cool toned. I didn't find anything that was super warm toned. This one is a little bit more on that warmy tone side, but it's almost like it looks like peas, like baby food peas is what it reminds me of. Sorry guys, I'm a mom, and that's honestly what it reminds me of. Paris la Boheme. I think that the concept is absolutely beautiful. I love the color art. I love the quality of this eyeshadow palette. And upon first impression of it, I think that the quality is just it's stunning across the board. No issues with any of the darker shades, and it did have a pretty good range of like light to dark tones in here, which is also something that I absolutely love about eyeshadow color stories. And that is my first impression on this eyeshadow palette. I think it's beautiful. I think Nomad did such an amazing job like representing and really digging into the story of the Bohemian Latin Quarter. And I think it's absolutely stunning. I think Nomad did a great job. So stay tuned for like a full review. Like after I have used this for a while, this is going to be going into my makeup bag so that I actually get some use out of it and I can give you guys some final thoughts on like what kind of eye looks I come up with and if it's, you know, very everyday friendly versus like very colorful friendly. And I hope you guys subscribe so you guys can see that as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope that you guys consider subscribing before you go, and I hope I get to see you in my next one. Bye!